So in this video, we're going to test a new iron that many PGA Tour players are putting straight into the golf bag without being in contract with them. So they are choosing this iron through its pure performance and probably the looks as well, because these do look stunning. We're going to hit them, test them, provide you with some numbers and obviously my personal feedback on these irons. So welcome back to the channel, everybody. So this iron I am referring to is the Tour Edge Exotics, and it's the Pro 723 version. It's a forged iron. It looks absolutely stunning on the first looks. We're going to obviously hit it. Bit of tech to talk about in this video. We're going to run through that as well. But as I mentioned, as many PGA Champion Tour professionals are putting this straight in the bag. The likes of Mike Weir, Ken Duke, Tim Petrovic, Wes Short, Marco Dawson are all choosing to play this iron without being in contract, which for me says a lot about the performance of this golf club in itself. So Tour Edge is saying this iron is being born out of the demand from the PGA staff players that use their clubs. So it's obviously got some influence from those as a player, and to be honest, it's a great looking golf club. But, and there's a big but here, you maybe expect this to be a really small blade, fully bladed sort of iron. It's not. We've got a bit of a cavity in there. We can see a bit of a material in the back. We'll talk a little bit about that. And to be honest, putting it into that playing position, it's a confident, inspiring golf club, which you maybe wouldn't associate with those types of players. They tend to go more sort of pure blades, very thin top line, squat club face. Now this is a beautiful shaped iron, but it's quite a long blade length from heel to toe, so it does provide you with what looks like a relatively large hitting area. And we've got the polished toe heel area. We've obviously got it polished around the back with that satin area where the grooves sit. It does look very, very nice down by that golf ball. And that fly is beautiful. Nice feel. Straight away we see that, or hear that forged sort of sound, that muted sort of sound. Lovely feel in there. And that felt a little bit off the bottom couple of grooves there. I didn't quite flush that, but some decent ball speed there, 120. Spinning in a very good area, carrying at 165. Now we'll jump straight into the lofts. This is a 7-iron I'm hitting, and this is lofting in at 32 degrees. So it's not mega weak. Maybe sometimes you associate with that player's iron, so to speak, sometimes that 33, 34 area, but having said that, it's not mega strong either. So 32 degrees, we're probably going to expect a good bit of ball speed. Yeah, and a very good ball flight. It's a flight that's up there, it's nice and high. It looks to be a really good sort of descent angle coming into land there. So we know there's probably going to be some real good control there. So you see land angle at that sort of 50-degree mark, height 105 feet, plenty of stopping power. So availability wise in these pro makeups is a 3-iron all the way through to a gap wedge as well, but there's only right hand. Unfortunately for you lefties, there's no left hand options. So let's jump into the technology in the head itself. So at the back of the head we can see there's a CNC milled cavity. So that's allowing them to take weight from out of that back section, placing it lower in the head to obviously increase forgiveness on those slight sort of miss hits, but while maintaining what is a relatively sort of thin to medium sort of top line, so really nice controlled sort of thickness of that top line. And that's not where the CNC milling stops. As we turn it over onto the club face now, all the faces are CNC milled to get the tightest of tolerances, you know, groove depth, everything like that, to get the maximum sort of control on this golf ball. And there's also some heel and toe pockets in the cavity, which again are CNC milled, which is allowing them to have the thinnest face possible to obviously help with that ball speed, but also that control, and without sacrificing any feel off the club face. And I would sort of agree with that. These do feel like a typical forged club off the club face. Oh, I've just pulled that one a little bit, but again, the flight's very, very similar to the others. Descent angle looks to be relatively the same. Good ball speed again. Spins up there, 172. A little bit longer carry there, just through that little bit of the pull. But the flight wasn't any lower there. Still got that descent angle and a little bit of that control when it comes into land. Now the other noticeable bit of technology, or we call it a technology, but it's featured in the club head, is this little black strip in the cavity. This is called the Vibrcor. It basically feels like a rubber substance here, and it's quite a spongy, when you press it, it's quite a spongy substance there. So that's going to help dampen sort of vibration, dampen sound a little bit, give it a little bit more of that sort of, probably that tour player's sort of preference really in terms of that sound, that bit more that forged sort of feel. You know, we know that obviously sound can contribute to feel. You know, if it sounds a little bit more muted, it will feel a little bit maybe softer to us. Again, nice flight. Fraction up the left hand side, but working very nicely on that strike, that feel, That flight looks very consistent. Again, land angles in that same area, spin looks pretty consistent. A little bit of left to right, that's me, unfortunately. You know, that's not club error, that's pilot error. We've then got a little bit of a centre pad, basically a little bit of extra sort of steel that goes right behind that sweet spot, that centre part of the club head itself. So that's obviously providing a little bit more mass behind the centre of the club. Those centred shots are going to feel very solid. Little bit of extra sort of mass produces that little bit more ball speed. And that feels superb. I mean, that's a lovely iron to sort of hit. It looks really good. It's quite confident inspiring for maybe what Tour Edge is saying is as a player's sort of iron. So I think it's probably for the golfer who maybe wants that sort of player's look, but wants that little bit of maybe blade length, a little bit of confidence inspiring, a little bit of help behind or under the bonnet, so to speak, in terms of the technology sort of inside the head. But yeah, lovely iron. Good looking iron. Post comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Tour Edge Exotics Pro 2723 iron. Hopefully I'll catch up with you all very soon.